It's pipes, drums, and we are delighted to have Pipe Major Richard Parks, the world champion Field Marshal Montgomery, 13th time world champion Field Marshal Montgomery. Richard, congratulations. Great to be with you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Andrew.
Yeah, and thanks for making the time. 13 world championships. Does the 13th, how does, it's the old question, how does it feel? Does it feel special? Or is it kind of getting old by now?
No, the feeling never gets old, and I mean they're all special, but I think that one, being the one that broke the record for me was even more special. Ian MacLellan was there and came over to us. Come over to the bus and actually come back to the hotel and celebrated with us. So that was made it even more special. That he was so happy for us. Someday my record will be broken as well. So records are made to be broken, and it was great that he was part of our celebration on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Ian MacLellan is always just the most gracious gentleman, one of the class acts of the pipe band world for sure. Um, yeah, so take us through the day or the 2 days actually. What about after each event? Were you pleased after all four of them?
Yes, we had four strong performances. Always when you go around the band, you'll find, people had we slight issues here and there, but generally the four performances were really strong. And we knew that that would have to be the case in order to try and win the competition. We're going to have to be strong over four events. And at the end of the day, I was really happy with the band over the 2 days. Given the weather conditions and everything else, I think we handled it well, and the band performed to a really high standard all four times.
So you were feeling pretty good about it each time.
Pretty much. I mean, the two MSRs we couldn't have done much better, and the two medleys were very strong, so we really couldn't have done a lot more on the day. So we were pretty happy with the performances, and whatever came after that, we would have taken it. So the fact that we won was really special.
Yeah. And what about the weather? Exceptionally warm. What kind of a challenge was that for the band? Or by that point, you'd played in some warm conditions already this summer. Um, how did the weather affect how you went into things?
Well, it had a major effect, obviously, and we're not that used to those hot conditions. Um, Although the band had been to France, like early in my career, the band had been to France and played in similar temperatures. And I usually found that once you got the band set up and the conditions were stable, that it remained stable after that. And having said that, we had 2 days in the preparation, where we were able to go out and actually play in the sun and see what sort of effect it did have. And obviously, the players that are in the sun are getting more of an effect. And we did try and position the band in the same position as would have been in the circle, so that the players that were going to get the sun on the day of the practice were getting the sun on the day of the competition. That sort of worked for us in terms of how the sun affected the various players within the band.
Yeah, that's really smart. That kind of going through it and even having the sun in your shining down in your face, can make a big
Mm,
difference, I would imagine, for
yeah,
players.
absolutely.
Yeah, and okay, so now you've got you personally have 13, and that's the new pipe band record, and that's fantastic. So the big question: do you plan to keep going? And if yes, and we all hope so, how long do you see it lasting?
Well, I've always said that I would assess every year at the end of the year to see how my own performances have been and to see if I've enjoyed it. And I really did enjoy it this year, and I mean, I have to say my own performances I've been pleased with this year, so I have enjoyed it, and so I do intend to keep going on. But again, I'll assess it at the end of every year, and if it comes to a point where I'm not enjoying it as much, then I'll make the decision at that point. But at the moment, I'm happy doing it, and I'm enjoying it, so I'll continue on that basis.
Well, you certainly looked happy. Some smiles after a few of those performances we were watching. Those on the live stream, and you certainly were happy when the result came out.
Yeah.
So it's great to see. All right, so you've kind of done it all. You've done it all many times through. It's what more do you want to achieve with Field Marshal Montgomery?
Well, the band the band thrives on competition success. That's what our main aim is. To go out and win competitions. And I'm just gonna try and keep the band at the same level that it's at the minute. Try and improve it if I can, and try and go out and try and get some more competitive success. I mean, I don't. I'm just happy with how things are going in the band, and just generally try to get the best performance that we can, and whatever happens after that happens.
Yeah, and I would imagine, you look at the result of four different bands actually winning each event. Field Marshal, obviously the one that won it all, but it speaks to an incredibly good standard. The likes of Bogle and Bathgate getting their due, Scottish Power, Inverary, of course,
Yeah.
and yourselves. So
No,
yeah,
that's correct. And the last time, 2019, it was a similar thing happened. Four different bands won the four different events. And this time it's been four events, four different bands have won. So it does show the incredibly high standard that's out there at the moment. And when you listen to the bands, on the day, you're hearing, excellent performances. So it is a really high standard, and makes it all the more special to actually win the competition.
yeah, and especially after 2 years off, there's some thought that come back and the standard won't be so high, but it just keeps going up and up, and it's just a credit to all the bands,
Yeah,
really,
that's
and
yeah.
yourselves. Yeah. Well, Richard, terrific stuff. Congratulations once again. I think popular winner, good winner. Uh, Everyone could agree with the result, I think. And thanks a lot for taking the time. And we'll look forward to the future.
Okay, thanks very much, Andrew.